Hey guys, what's up? I'm Eli the Reptile Guy, and today I will be making a leopard gecko care guide. So if you want to care for your leopard gecko and make him live a long and happy life, then watch till the end. Alright guys, so this is Echo. And the first thing you need to know about caring for a leopard gecko is how big is this animal gonna get? Because you don't want it to be like a Burmese python and get to 20 feet. Luckily these guys don't get to 20 feet. In fact, I have a tape measure right here. They don't even get over 1 foot. As you can see, she's about 8 inches. And she's a female. And that's actually big for a female. Females normally are around 6 to 8 inches, so she's on the end of that average, unless you get like a really big one. Then males are generally 8 to 10 inches. Next, what you're gonna need to know is how big of an enclosure do I need for this animal? Does it need a big enclosure, or does it need like basically nothing? Well, they don't need a ton of space for their enclosure. In fact, this one is only 30 inches long. So 1.5 feet, that's not too bad. Then you're going to want to give them a bunch of hides, substrate. Now, I do have 2 leopard geckos. This one is the first one I got, Spot. She's a little skinny, but she's fine. She's smaller. She's like 6 inches. But she's okay. But Echo over here, as you might be able to tell, loves to dig. Yeah, as you can see, she filled up one side of this hide. I'm gonna have to clear that out, but she just likes to dig, so you want to give them like 2 inches of substrate, or 3 inches, but depending on the gecko. If they don't love it, then if you want to change it, go ahead, but I don't know why you would. She likes to hide back in here in a log, so I like 3 hides. This one has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like a hot hide, and then in the middle I like a humid hide for like shedding and stuff, because it helps them, and stuck shed is bad, and yeah. And then just 2 more other hides, like on the cool side right here. So yeah, that's kind of it. It's not very hard to set up. Substrate, make sure you have a bowl of food and water. Leopard geckos are going to get most of their water from when you're spraying the tank or their food, but it's nice to have a water bowl in there just in case. As you can see, she likes to go in the warm hide, and it gets nice and chill in there. Well, not chill. It gets nice and warm in there. That's about it. You don't need a lot for these setup. So now, what you need to know is how hot and how cold does it have to be? Well, the cool side needs to be 75 to 79-ish. Now, if it gets to 73, it's fine. It's fine. It's just 2 degrees under. It's fine. And then the cool side is supposed to be 80 to 85 degrees. Now, if it gets to 90 on the hot side, they're probably gonna stay over on the cool side. That's a really good part about having a warm side and a cool side, is because if it gets too hot over here, like say you live in like a warmer spot, I don't know where, but you live in a warmer spot and it's getting a little hot one day on the warm side, they have the cool side to just go and hang out on if it gets too hot over here. Now, Echo has several basking spots right here and back on that gray thing. She sometimes goes up there, but it's mainly this one. You want to keep basking 91-ish. 90 to 93 is like the best spot. Then they'll love that. As you can see over here, Spot only has 1. Could go up on there, but yeah. Also, what I forgot to mention is The humid hide, you want to put some moss in there and spray it. I haven't sprayed it today. I need to spray it. It's a little dry. But you want to have it on the warm side or the middle, in between all of it. You don't want to have it on the cool side because then it'll be like damp. Also, I need to clean that out. Just ignore that. But I need to yeah, it's not good to have the humid hide on the cool side. So have it on the warm side and you'll be good. Now you need a food bowl, water bowl. That's about it. Now humidity. The humidity is a bit drier. They like to have it around They like to have it about 30 to 40%. If it gets to 50 sometimes, it's fine. It's only sometimes. But try to keep it right at like 40, because that's like the best spot for it. Now leopard geckos, they poop in one corner. So I got these poop pads so I can just scoop it up or pick it up and flush it down the toilet. So they poop in one corner, and you'll know because they'll just pick a corner and then go poop in that same spot basically every time. I have found her only pooping one time I found her pooping right in this corner. So you can also just put a paper towel back there instead of buying the $10 or whatever poop pad, sorry. And yeah, but now, with all of this, your gecko is gonna need to eat so they're not living for 20 minutes. So, all you gotta feed them, pretty easy to feed them. I feed them mealworms, black soldier fly larvae, and waxworms. You can also feed them crickets, crickets are really good. I just don't feed them that often. I probably should feed them more often though. So, if you're getting a baby, you're going to want to feed them every day. Now this is not a baby, this is an adult. She's like 4. But babies you're going to want to feed every day. Tiny stuff. The insect should be no larger than the gap between their eyelids. Worms, and like mealworms, don't feed them actual worms like earthworms. Should be like twice the length of it at most. Smaller is like fine. Like if it's in between that, then it's fine. It doesn't really matter. It just has to be smaller than twice the size of their eyelids. Now, you have to feed juveniles 6 to 12-ish months, or yeah, like 15, something like that, 12 to 15 months, every other day. Now adults, like Echo and Spot, Echo's like 4, Spot's like 2, but you have to feed them like you have to feed them 2 to 3 or 4 times a week. And then they'll be healthy, and you don't want to feed mealworms every meal because they have hard exoskeletons that make it hard for them to digest, which can lead to impaction, which will pretty much kill your gecko, which is not a good thing. So mealworms about every other to every 2 meals. As adults. Babies, you gotta feed them like every other to every 2 meals. And make sure that your gecko is pooping, and it's looking pretty much like that over there. I need to clean it up, she just pooped. But like that. Brown and the white urates. Now you need to know, can I hold the gecko? Handling. Will it eat me? Will it chew on me all day? Or will it just be chill? Echo I got is 2. She was already human socialized, but it took a little longer to socialize with me because when I got Spot, the other one, I got her as like a month-old baby. So that took much faster for her to socialize with me, and now I'm like the only person that Spot wants. So, same thing with Echo, except Echo took like 5 or 6 months to like fully socialize. And with Spot, it only took like 2 to make him like love me. So there it is. And leopard geckos don't bite. I've been bit once, and that's my fault. And leopard gecko bites don't hurt. They feels like if you're talking to someone or watching a video or something, and they bite you, you'll have to look over to notice. Now leopard geckos pretty much don't even bite, so I've been bit once, not even by Echo, it was by Spot. I was feeding her, and we had just got back from a week-long trip, so she was hungry. And I got my fingers in there while I was feeding her with the tongs, and she thought my fingers looked like mealworms because they were moving around, apparently. And she bit it, so it was my fault. And then she didn't do it again, so it was my fault. And it doesn't hurt at all. You can barely feel it. It feels like a little pinch with, it doesn't hurt. So if they bite you, which they won't, unless it's that situation, you'll be fine. Now, you need to know, can I even buy this animal? Where can I find it? These animals, if you go to a reptile expo, they will be on every other table. They will be everywhere. Every expo, I can basically guarantee you. Now, don't buy them from big brand pet stores or stuff like that, because they're they don't have the best quality geckos and they don't live as long. So yeah, get them from a website that you know is good. If you have friends that talk about a website that they ordered reptiles, because that's where I got Spot, on a website, and she's a super nice gecko. And yeah, the ones at big pet stores normally aren't as healthy too, so they live shorter lives, which is sad, but yeah. And expos, talk to the breeder and stuff, and if you think they're good geckos, if you know they're healthy, then you can buy them from expos. As long as they're not from a big pet store, then you'll be fine. Now, they normally cost, it depends on their morph. A normal you can buy for 20 bucks or 30 bucks. What Spot is a tangerine, and I don't know what Echo is. I think she's just a normal. But Spot is a tangerine, and she was 30 bucks or something, 20 bucks, something like that. And it depends on the morph. If you get a high-end morph, it's gonna cost more. A low-end, a normal, it'll cost around 30 bucks. 30 to 150 depending on the morph. That's how much they'll cost. Now you know how to care for your leopard gecko. Now a couple things that I missed were calcium feeding and the multivitamin. You want to feed the multivitamin every 2 or 3 feedings, and then a calcium babies every feeding, and then adults every other feeding. Alright, now you know how to care for your leopard gecko. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.